all the power went to the board of directors, which is the selection committee. Sure, they may listen to Jean-Pierre's suggestions, but they can do whatever they want. She wasn't telling me anything I didn't already know. I rubbed my temples. I had to get out of the car. Cass, I'm not going over this again with you. My grandfather is ill. He's more important than some job. It's not just some job, Bailey. You've been working for this for 6 years. 6 years. Do you want to throw away all the thousands of hours you spent on perfecting your craft? I drummed my fingers on the steering wheel. Of course not. Then come back. Oh, Cass, can you hear me? You're breaking up, I said. I'm way out in the country now. Bailey, can you hear me? Bay. I hung up the phone. As a native New Yorker, Cass questioned cell phone reception anywhere west of Manhattan. I scrolled through my text messages for a response from Eric Sharp. Nothing. The last text messages had been from me to him, telling him I was heading to Ohio to visit my ailing grandfather, telling him I was at the airport, and telling him I had landed in Akron. No response to any of them. I reminded myself that between his 2 pastry shops, television show, and thousands of other obligations, Eric didn't have time to text his girlfriend, especially since he and I were the only ones who knew we were dating. I threw the phone into my purse. Despite Eric's impossible schedule, a short "thinking of you" text would have lifted my spirits considerably, because I was pretty certain Cass was right. My rash decision to drop everything and fly to Ohio did put my promotion to head chocolatier at JP Chocolates at risk. I shook my head. I'd had no other choice. When my grandmother had called to tell me my grandfather was ill, I had to go. My grandmother only called if it was an emergency. The Amish didn't use the telephone for chit-chat. Through the windshield of my rental car, I watched as a second horse and buggy rolled by. I had told Cass that I was in the country. I hadn't told her I was in Amish country. The village of Harvest in Holmes County, Ohio, to be specific. I wasn't sure what my fashionable co-worker would have said if she knew I had Amish relatives. She'd probably wonder if I had a bonnet hidden somewhere in my apartment. My grandparents might be Amish, but I wasn't. Neither were my parents. My father had grown up Amish and then left his district to marry my mother. Right now, Mom and Dad were having the very un-Amish adventure of traveling through Europe to celebrate their 30th wedding anniversary. Judging by the number of vacation photos in my email inbox, I could safely say that Mom and Dad had mastered the selfie and were on a personal mission to snap a photo of themselves with every major landmark in Europe. The last one I had received included the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I took a deep breath and stepped out of the car. I would have to buy an air freshener if I was going to spend any significant amount of time in the rental car or risk asphyxiation. As I walked to the corner of Apple and Main Street, I hoped that Dottie and Mommy would be happy to see me. My grandparents didn't know I was in town. My grandmother had called to tell me Dottie was ill, but she'd asked me not to come. She said Dottie would not wish me to leave my work on his account. I turned the corner onto Main Street, passing an Amish woman pushing a double stroller. 2 plainly dressed toddlers sat in the stroller, kicking each other with their small feet. The mother said something to them in Pennsylvania Dutch. The children giggled, and I felt myself relax. I had made the right decision. The selection committee members wouldn't change their minds about choosing me as the head chocolatier just because I took a couple of vacation days that were owed me. I hadn't taken a single day off from work since last year, when Jean-Pierre had announced his planned retirement. Main Street was the primary shopping district in the tiny village of Harvest, Ohio. Gas-powered lamps marched down the street, alternating with more apple trees, and storefronts advertised Amish-made products, everything from quilts to baskets to pretzels and brooms. Returning here felt like stepping back in time, not into a former century, as many people misperceived the Amish culture, but into a bustling community of shops and merchants where clothes and home goods and foods were locally harvested and handmade. Cass would be hard.